Hey guys, this is Shane with Lemon Street Music. Just wanted to bring another lesson to you today in this series of being more creative on our instrument. Today we're going to talk about harmonizing the major scale, and we're going to harmonize it in fourths. You can harmonize it in thirds, fifths, sixths, sevenths, octaves. There's a lot of different ways to harmonize a major scale, and then you can put those all together and interchange them as you'd like. But today we're just going to talk about harmonizing the major scale in fourths. And the major scale we're going to be dealing with, the key that we're going to be in, is the key of E major. And so the key of E major has four sharps: F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, and D sharp. And let me just say this real quick. This lesson has a little depth to it. We're going to talk a little bit about theory. So if you get a little bogged down or you don't understand, don't stress out. Just shoot me an email at info@lemonstreetmusic.com. And I will send you a detailed PDF file printout that you can print with all the notation and the tabs of this lesson. So going back to the E major scale, we're going to start on the G sharp, which is the third scale degree of E major. And we're going to start on the first fret of the third string. So the G string, first fret, that's a G sharp note, third scale degree of E major. Use our first finger only. We're going to go up a half step to the fourth scale degree, which is A. A whole step to B, a whole step to C sharp, a whole step to D sharp, half step to E, whole step to F sharp, whole step to G sharp, half step to A, whole step to B, whole step to C sharp. That's as high as my fretboard goes. So basically that's all the notes that are available to us in the key of E major, even though we're starting on the G sharp, which is the third scale degree. And then if we harmonize that, it's just basically the fourth is just going to be the very next string a half step up from whatever note you're on. So if we're starting the G sharp, I can use my third finger or second finger, whatever's more comfortable for you, on the second fret of the B string, and that's going to be a C sharp. So I'm playing a G sharp and a C sharp. Now, if I go up a half step to the fourth scale degree with that first finger, this is the only note that we have to change, because if I play a fourth there, I've got an A and a D, and that D is not in the key of E major. D sharp is in the key of E major. So I can play a different interval over that, like maybe a fifth. Every time I play that A, maybe I play a fifth, or maybe I play that tritone, which is in between the fourth and the fifth. It's kind of dissonant, but it can be very cool in what you want in certain contexts. Or I could play the major third, which would be the same fret, and be an A and a C sharp. And that's the only interval or the only scale degree in the major scale that when you play a fourth you have to change it. Okay, so if I take that A up a whole step to the fourth fret B, then I just go up a half step on the next string, and there's my fourth. So I have a B and an E. Take both notes up a whole step. I have a C sharp and an F sharp. Go up another whole step. I have a D sharp and a G sharp. Half step. I have an E and an A. Whole step. F sharp and B. Another whole step. G sharp and C sharp. And then I get to another half step and I'm at my A note, that fourth scale degree, and I can't just play a regular perfect fourth on this. I've got to change it. So I can play a third, I can play the tritone, I can play the fifth. Any of those notes are going to sound good together. They're going to work because they're in the key of E major. And then I go up another whole step to my B notes. I can do my regular perfect fourth again, a half step up on the next string. And I've got a B and an E. And then I can go to C sharp and F sharp. There. Okay, so those are all the notes that I have just on that one string. Now eventually you can combine strings when you do this and you're creating music. You can jump strings, but I like the linear sound when I play up and down the fret, the neck of the guitar. It just sounds good when it's all on the same string. So I'm just going to improvise a little bit, just using some of these ideas. And normally I would kind of go outside of just playing fourths. But so you can really hear the fourths, I'm going to just kind of stay with fourths mostly. I might play, a note or two or an interval or two that's different than that, but mostly I'm just going to be playing fourths. And then I'm going to play the open E string as well, so you can kind of hear these notes against the E notes, which is the key that we're in. So start with an E major chord, and then we'll just work on some fourths. So. All right, so there you have it. Just some neat little ideas and concepts you can do using fourths, just to give you an idea. Again, you can do this through all the different modes. You can do this in different keys. It can really add a lot to your playing when you start harmonizing the scales and incorporating that in your playing. And you can use it again with other intervals as well. So it's a really cool concept and something definitely worth practicing. So hopefully that'll give you something that you can work on and will add more to your playing, your songwriting, worship, whatever it is that you do on your instrument. I think you can incorporate that into it. So again, if any of that was confusing, you have any questions on it, or you just want me to send you a PDF chart of how to practice that, feel free to shoot me an email at info@lemonstreetmusic.com. Thanks again for checking this out, and have a great day.